Joining me now is Biruk, journalist from Hawassa University, to talk to us about the latest situation and Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Good afternoon, Biruk. Thank you for joining NewsHour.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, at least 100 people were massacred by militia groups in Ethiopia's Benishangul Gumuz region yesterday. Sorry about the pronunciation. Ethnic Amharas are being persecuted again. Please explain to us further about this latest attack and what's instigated it.
Thank you very much. It's unfortunate to discuss about the deaths of hundreds of Ethiopians who have been killed everywhere because of different reasons. What happened yesterday in Benishangul Gumuz, that you have pronounced very well,
thank you,
is the killing of mainly Amahara ethnic groups. But according to Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, there are also other ethnic groups called the Shinasha, who are the native ethnic group for that region, have been massacred, killed while they were at home, sleeping during around the midnight, after the midnight, and armed groups came to them and then burned their houses alive, locking their homes behind, and then slaughtered some of them, just killed using local just materials and then guns, and then that is really very unfortunate. This happened immediately after the Prime Minister's visit, the day before yesterday. The Prime Minister was there talking to the people, what happened, why it's happening, how they could solve it, and then he vowed that he would take necessary measures to stop the massacre. But immediately the next day, this happened. And the other district called Bulan, which usually it happened in Debat. The zone is a Metekel zone, but it happens once in another district, the other time in another district, and then mainly ethnic Amhara has been killed.
Okay, now why are ethnic clashes increasing in Ethiopia? Why has PM Abiy Ahmed's government failed to bring peace to the country?
I think let us go back to the main source of Ethiopian ethnic clash is its constitution. You see, especially the constitutions of the region, specifically let us see the constitution of Benishangul Gumuz, starts by mentioning that the owners of this region are three major ethnic groups. The remaining other ethnic groups who are living in the region, they can live, but they are not the power owners. They cannot share any power. They cannot they are not really taken as a serious citizens of that region. So every region has that type of divisive constitution, which says the major power goes to the native ethnic group in that area. This is the source of the problem. And then why Abiy's government didn't bring the expected peace and security to the nation is you cannot bring peace and security with a divisive constitution at hand. And then the other thing is those people who are in power, I can name some of them who was already named by the government. For example, the State Minister of Labor and Social Affairs is involved in this conflict, directly involved. And the head of Prosperity Party in Metekel zone, the same zone that the problem is happening, is involved in the conflict. When the government forces and the party forces involved in type of conflicts, who is going to protect the people? The people who are supposed to protect, the officials or authorities who are supposed to protect its people are involved. Then that is the basic problem, that Abiy is not able to clean up its house like the party and the government. These are two cases that I consider the cause of all. This problem is not happening only in Metekel. It happened in West Wallagga. It happened in South Ethiopia called Gurafarda Warada within the past 3 months. Everywhere you go, those officials, higher officials, are involved in the killing. So it's a problem that he has to clean its home. and then find out a way, and then work on improving an accommodative constitution for every region, and then, deal with the people to bring the peace.
Okay, so how can a accommodative constitution be put in place? I mean, there has to be a solution, because as you said, if the solution doesn't lie within the leader, whether it's Addis Ababa or somebody else that can come after him, how can this be? How can this overhaul take place? And an overhaul does need to take place, clearly. A referendum, perhaps. What's your analysis? How can a new constitution be put in place, or how can amendments be made?
I think the major difficulty lies over there. Ethiopian constitution, the country's constitution has its own procedures to be amended. And then in that constitution, if most of the ethnic regions, because they have to drive their constitutions from the Ethiopian constitution, which is the highest power, goes to that constitution, it needs some time actually to amend that constitution. However, if government is really willing to work on improving its constitution, put some plans, maybe, because we are going to the election where it seems it could be a referendum for the government. If he puts its agenda of amending the major constitution changes that disallow ethnic regions, ethnic parties, everything related to ethnic there. Like in Africa, in most of the African countries, ethnic party is not allowed. Why not in Ethiopia? It's the only country that ethnic federalism or ethnic government or ethnic party is allowed to practice freely. Where you stop that by force, that would end up in another crisis. But work on the procedures that the constitution itself allows you to amend it throughout time. I mean, dealing with constituencies, and then everybody goes back to its district. Deal with the people where the problem lies on, and then where all the burdens are loaded to them. And that is the way forward in how Abiy could work on proving that Ethiopia is for every citizen, not for the majority ethnic group who takes the place. For example, let me take you to Metekel. Metekel, majority of the people are Amhara and Oromo, but none of them are in power. How can they protect their people? Why they are not in power? It's because the constitution does not allow them, because they cannot hold the power. That is the divisive constitutional background that we are facing. And then I hope Abiy will consider this in his next election, included in its plan, and then work with the opposition parties and the people, including me, to prove that he cares for its people.
Indeed. Biruk, thank you very much for joining the program. I appreciate your contribution there.
Thank you very much.